Bow. What's going on, y'all? This will be recorded. We just hit the record button. So we want to make sure that y'all don't have the IRS coming in, kicking in the door like y'all with MSC. Y'all must be getting money, run us that bag. So to make sure the IRS don't come for you or me, because y'all gonna be like, hey, talk to Jordan. That's Jordan. He the one that showed us all the money. We brought in Abby today, Miss Abby Joseph, gonna tell us about how to trade under a business the right way. Make sure that y'all minimize your tax liability. I'm not gonna say a bunch more tax words because that's her thing. I'm gonna let her rock out. So Miss Abby, you have the stage.
Thank you. I really need a little bit of your energy. So I need a whole list of all the vitamins you take in the morning and how many push-ups you do in the morning, how many miles you run in the morning. I just need a little bit of this energy. Goodness gracious. Listen, I'm so jealous right now, but you did come through when it comes with the energy. Hello, everyone. I'm Abby. I'm the relationship accountant. What do? I help business owners and retail traders maximize their tax savings. Just to tell you a little bit of myself, I do want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a financial advisor. I do have a financial advisor in my team if you guys don't need a financial advisor, but I am not a financial advisor. It doesn't necessarily mean I can't answer some financial questions, but I cannot advise. There is a huge difference. I am a tax strategist, and I'll tell you a little bit of what that means. I am a tax accountant, and I am also not a CPA. Okay, a CPA is a certified practical accountant. I'm not a CPA. I am a tax strategist. I have my bachelor's in business management, and I have my master's in accountant. So those financial questions, I don't mind answering them. Just know that I cannot advise you and answer any questions when it comes to financial purposes. Okay, guys? All right, just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, I am a middle child of 3. I have an older sister and a younger brother that have probably more energy than Jordan. But it's so funny because he's 37 and he looks and have energy of a 15-year-old. So I stay jealous of him, just like Jordan. What else? Yes, a daughter of an immigrant. I am from the island of Haiti, but I was raised in Sarasota area. I already told you guys my credentials. That's all you guys need to know. Y'all didn't come here to learn about me. Y'all came to learn about taxes. So I actually would like that we interact in this class. What that means is that at any time while I'm teaching that you guys have a question, don't be shy. Raise your hands or shoot them in the chat. I will stop and answer them for you guys. Okay. All the other questions, we will wait till the end, and then I'll answer as many of them as I can. Know that the majority of the questions that you guys ask during class, usually I'm answering them while doing the class. Okay, guys? All right, great. So who you are, right, versus how IRS looks at you versus how you want them to look at you is very, very, very important.
You muted.
I literally muted myself. Okay,
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. So how IRS sees you and how you want them to look at you is very, very, very important. Okay. So there's 3 types of traders. When I say it's very important how IRS looks at you, it's going to depend on those 3 types of trader category. Currently speaking, if I ask you what type of trader you are, you'll be able to tell me, oh, Abby, I'm a day trader, or I'm a swing trader, I'm a scalper, or I'm a long-term investor or a leap holder. I do leaps. I don't trade. I don't do swings. I don't day trade. I take 2024 calls to 2023. All right. So that's the answers that you would be able to give me. But when it comes to IRS, there's only literally 3 trader category. The first category is an individual self-directed investor. The majority of you guys that are here are literally investors. You're not even traders in the eyes of IRS. The second category is trading as a business without 475 MTM election, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. The third category is trading as a business with 475 MTM election, which is mark-to-market election. So what does IRS says when it comes to investors versus trader? The IRS says that if the nature of your trading activities does not qualify as a business, you are considered an investor and not a trader. It doesn't matter whether you call yourself a trader or a day trader, you are an investor. Remember, if the nature of your trading activity. So if you're trading, if you're doing leaps, if you are an investor, then you are an investor. But if you're day trading and you're actively in the stock market, you are considered a trader. That's why he says, if the nature of your trading activity does not qualify as a business, you are considered an investor and not a trader. Okay, so an individual self-directed investor can't deduct business expenses. They are subject to wash sale rule, and you limit it to $3,000 per year in a net loss deduction, which the majority of you guys as a trader should know. If you are in the stock market, you should know how you are taxed. You should know what is the amount of net loss that you can deduct, and you should know your wash sale rule, right? So as an individual self-directed investor, you can't do neither one of these things. All right. How are you guys taxed? You are taxed when it comes to capital gains. Anything that is held over 1 year is considered long-term, and you can be capped at 20%. Anything that is short-term, right? Anything that is under a year is considered short-term. My computer's so, my hand screen is so sensitive. Let me move it this. Let me use the mouse instead. So anything that is held for under a year is short-term, right? And you are capped at 37%. So my goal is here, the short-term people, the people that can be capped at 37%. I don't see why, right? I would want to give IRS 37% of my money. And I know for sure you guys wouldn't want to either. So that's why you are in the class tonight. So what are the two paths to overcome investor status? Because that is the biggest issue, right? We all here are investor status, and we want to know how is it we can overcome investor status. Path number one, right, would be qualify for trader tax status, which is TTS, and electing mark-to-market election. Path number two is to trade under an LLC or an S-corp, and also electing as a mark-to-market election. All right. So when it comes to path number one, TTS, what is TTS? Trader tax status is a status that IRS came up for those individuals, right? Those individuals that are capped at 37% that are day trader. IRS consider you guys profession. This is a profession. You guys are professional. So what does it allow you? It allows you to take a business deduction that you can qualify for at the end of the year. And the reason why IRS makes it at the end of the year, because the requirements is going to depend on those numbers at the end of the year. So what are those requirements? Those requirements are you need to average 4 hours per day trading. That includes research. So that includes you being in TOS, Think or Swim, you in Trading View, right? Reviewing your charts, reviewing your technicals, you reading anything that is related to trading, right, is included with that 4 hour. You need to trade 720 trades per year. That's about 3 to 4 trades a day. Your trades need to be daily. They need to be weekly trading. And the majority of your trades are within a 30-day window. Now, when we talk about daily trading, that means that what you can't do is be in the stock market this month and the next month you disappear, right? And then the next month you come back. You need to be actively in the stock market.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
When you enter a trade and you don't really have a plan, for me, whenever I enter a trade, I have a hard time putting my take profit and having a stop loss. So what's the first thing what's the first thing you look at in before you enter a trade? Like where should you put your take profit and have a stop loss?
That would be a Jordan question. That would be a Jordan question, because if it's not a tax question, it's a trading question. So you wanting to know where are you putting your stop loss, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's a technical question.
Okay, who do I ask for that?
Jordan.
Yeah, we'll handle that. We'll handle that tonight. Moody has class after this, but this is a class specifically regarding taxes and trading. So unless you have a taxes and trading question, hold off till later or put it in the chat.
Okay.
Otherwise, please remain muted. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did not know that.
No,
You
not
good,
at
bro.
all. You're perfectly
You
fine.
good, bro.
Now, can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. All right. So we said daily trading, weekly trading, right? And the majority of your trades are within 30-day window. Now it's so funny because I would get in a long-term call, right? I will get in a long-term call. That long-term call could be a 2024, but then I got out of that call within like 10 days. Would that be considered a trade within the 30-day window? Yes, it is. Even though I got on the, it's a leap, but I got out early. So just because you did a swing, it doesn't necessarily mean you kept that trade, for more than 30 days. So just know that the majority of your trades, they need to be within a 30-day window. All right. This part 2 would be to trade under an LLC or an S-corp, right? Most individuals, they trade under an LLC. It is the most basic structure. It does require a business tax return. It is pass-through entity, so all tax are paid on the personal level, personal income tax level, and all realized gains are taxed whether you take the money out or not. Now, you may ask, okay, Abby, why would I trade under an LLC if I can trade under TTS? You can. Remember, when it comes to TTS, you have to actually qualify every year. For you to actually qualify for TTS, every year you need to actually, those requirements, you have to met all of those requirements every year. So you will find that an individual would probably prefer to trade under the LLC because they don't have to requalify every year. Okay. Now, when it comes to an S-corp, the S-corp is also a pass-through entity. It requires to put yourself on a payroll. So you do have to take payroll on an S-corp, all right? Pre-tax contribution to SEP or IRA up to $61,000 per year. So currently speaking, right, as an individual investor, as an individual that is trading under your social security number, or even as an individual investor, you can only contribute $7,000 to your IRA. Well, as an S-corp, as an individual that is trading under an S-corp, right, entity, you can actually contribute to your SEP IRA or a regular IRA up to $61,000 per year. All right. You can also deduct your health insurance premium. You can also set up your health savings account under the entity. And the beautiful thing about that is that the health insurance premium is a business deduction. So just like you were working at a 9-to-5, right? And you have your HSA account, and you can actually have those same things too under the S-corp if you're trading under S-corp. Yes, Michael.
Okay, so I'm really sorry. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so if I was like just learning like how to trade, and I was like taking profits, putting in my savings and stuff like that, what do you suggest that I file my taxes under if you're just getting started, like as a trader? Or what would be like your essential way to avoid that 37% tax?
Look, what if you are new to the stock market? My biggest advice would be that you master your craft. This is not for an individual that just walked into the stock market that is learning how to trade. This is an individual that is a full-time day trader. So what I would recommend is that you master your craft as a trader.
Okay, so like essentially, are you saying that I should hold in my funds in my portfolio and then take it out at one clean swoop, just so that way I can like, or I guess I'm not really asking my question appropriately. Let me rephrase. So like, let's say I've been trading for a year and I kept all my funds in my portfolio, but I take it out, right?
Paper trading doesn't
best, right? Would it be best to around tax time, would it be best to take it out in one clean swoop? Or
it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you If you transfer your fund from your brokerage account to your personal account, your brokerage account still have to provide you with a 1099 that you have to complete your tax return with, that will actually show your gains and your loss. So
Oh, okay.
regardless if you keep your funds in your brokerage account, it doesn't necessarily have an effect on your tax return. The minute you purchase a security, guys, and you sell that security, a transaction took place. Does that make sense? That transaction is reported. So even if you purchase a security at $5 and you sold it for $100 and you kept that $100 in your brokerage, you're still going to be taxed on that in that gain. Am I making any? Does that make sense, Michael?
Yeah, so like regardless if I pull my money out of my portfolio or not, I'm still going to be taxed regardless.
You made the money, love.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You made
So
the money,
what?
so now you have to pay the tax on the money you made, not the $5, right? The $95 you're going to be paying tax on.
So then if I were to have an LLC, that was basically, I would be taxed 20% instead of the 37%. Is that what you were describing earlier?
You would be taxed based on where you currently are in the tax bracket. I can't specifically tell you how much you are going to be taxed on without knowing what is your total net income is.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like, I'm really interested in learning. It's just like, this is just a whole brand new concept for me. So I apologize. I'm not trying to.
Don't apologize. This is a specific reason why I'm here, right? So don't apologize for any questions that you guys ask, okay? All right. Okay, so we talked about trading. Here's what I am going to ask though, if you guys don't mind, because a lot of the questions you are going to ask me now, trust me, believe me, I'm answering them through the course. So let's wait till after presentation, then you guys can, y'all can bombard me with questions. I don't have a problem. Sounds good? Okay, great. All right, so we talked about trading under the S-corp. We said that the biggest difference between an LLC and an S-corp is that S-corp, you have to take payroll. People talk about how beautiful an S-corp is. Once you start making 50,000 or more, make sure you guys are, make sure you get yourself an S-corp. But one thing that they do not say is that you cannot be trading under an S-corp without taking payroll. Regardless if you're running your own business, you can't be running a business as an S-corp without taking payroll. So it's very important. But the beautiful tax benefit with the S-corp is that you can contribute $61,000 per year. Currently, you can only contribute $7,000 as an individual. And you can also deduct as an expense, right, your health insurance premium, and you can set up health savings account. Okay, so what happens when we add mark-to-market election? Adding mark-to-market election is the beauty, okay? The benefit to mark-to-market election is that it eliminates the wash sale rule. As a trader, it's important for you to know what the wash sale rule is. And we'll talk about that later, right? It eliminates the wash sale rule. It allows for unlimited net loss to deduction in a single year, okay? And it can be made on top of TTS or your trading entity. So remember earlier, what did we say? We said that you are only allowed, as an individual self-directed investor, you are only allowed $3,000, right? $3,000 per year in net loss. $3,000. So regardless, if you lost $50,000 in the stock market for the year, you can only write off $3,000 per year up to 7 years. Well, with mark-to-market election, it allows you to actually write off your total loss. Here's the word, allows for unlimited net loss to deduction in a single year. So you don't have to wait for up to 7 years. You can actually write off the total amount of the loss. That is the beauty of the mark-to-market election. Okay, now what is the requirement for the mark-to-market election? You have to qualify for TTS, which is trader tax status. You make the election prior to the tax year, or LLC, trading under an LLC or S-corp, make the election within 75 days of setting up your new entity, okay? How do you file for a mark-to-market election? To make the election, you have to file Form 3115. It's an application for changing accounting method. Mark to market is an accounting method. You're pretty much telling IRS that you would like to change your accounting method to cash. Okay, Form 3115 is filled with the first year you file as an MTM. For an example, if 2022 will be your first year with MTM, you would send the statement of election with your 2021 tax return, and Form 3115 would be filed with your 2021 tax return. Okay, so then let's just say I want to file next year mark to market election. I would have to actually send my election letter to IRS with my 2021 tax return. Okay. So let's talk about products trading when it comes to the different type of trade. All right. So there's 3 different type of trading that you can trade with, right? We have stocks and equity options. We have broad-based index and index options. We have futures and future options. One of the big things is that you guys are not taxed the same way. All right. You guys are actually taxed differently. When it comes to broad-based, when it comes to index option, futures and future options, you guys are taxed. I'm gonna run through this a little bit. I'll go back, I promise. I just want to make sure I show you guys. You guys are taxed under blended tax rate. So if you trade Forex, if you trade futures, right, your 1099, you would be looking at if you ever receive the 1099 from a brokerage, right, the top of the brokerage on the left-hand side have the brokerage information. The right-hand side have your personal information. The body is where you actually have your transactions. On the upper body, right-hand side, you will see something that will say 1256 contracts. 1256 contracts is for anyone that is trading Forex and trading future. You guys are taxed on 60% for long-term, 40% for short-term. Okay, so anyone that is in here that trades Forex, you guys are not taxed the same way. I'm gonna get back to that in a little bit. So the important thing to know is that when it comes to blended taxes, blended tax return, you guys are actually taxed differently. I know one of the questions you guys are going to ask are, what are the forms, right? The forms for you guys to trade when it comes to as an individual self-directed investor. When I say individual self-directed investor, that's everyone that is trading under their social security number. That's an individual self-directed investor. Anyone that is trading under an EIN is trading under as a business. So your main tax form would be your 1040. If you are an LLC sole proprietor, right, you would be trading, your form would be a 1040 with a Schedule C, right? Now, you still complete Form 8949, guys. Even though you are completing a Schedule C, the Schedule C is for you to enter all your trading expenses. So what are your trading expenses? The subscription that you are paid on the Discord, that's a deduction. The accountant that you hire, that's a deduction. The books that you order in Amazon that is trading related, that's a deduction. Any seminar you go to, that's a deduction. The cell phone that you trade all day on, that's a deduction. Home office deduction, the desk you purchase deduction, computer deduction, electronic. So there is over 80 deductions that you can actually deduct as expenses. So if you are completing your tax return on your own and you are traded under an LLC sole proprietor, you would be completing Form 1040, the Schedule C, and Form 8949. If you are trading under a partnership, okay, or LLC multi-member, you will be completing 1040, but you will also be completing a 1065. The 1065 is the partnership, right? The 1040 then is your personal. If you are an S-corp, you would be completing Form 1120S. And I apologize, I don't know why it says 1020. I was probably sleepy. So it would be 1120S, all right? And if it's a C-corp, it is an 1120. Know that You would still, for stocks and equity options, you would be completing Form 8949 if you are trading as an individual self-directed investor, or if you're trading under a business, but not trading with mark-to-market election. You would still complete Form 8949. But if you are trading as a business and mark-to-market election, you will be completing Form 4797. If you are trading with index option, future option, you will be completing Form 6781. If you are an individual self-directed investor trading under a business without MTM, you would be completing Form 6781. But if you are trading as a business with 475 mark-to-market election, you will be completing Form 4797. And that's for all the DIYs, because I know a lot of you are DIYs. One of the biggest mistakes that I actually find from DIY is that you guys will receive a 1099 and you don't know how to read the 1099. And because you don't know how to read 1099, you do not complete Form 8949 in your tax return. God forbid IRS audits you, it will not be a pretty picture. So it's important to actually complete Form 8949 when you receive a 1099 from your brokerage. And the 8949 is literally where you enter your profit, your loss, all your transactions that you had for the year. Okay. So quick review, right? We talked about trading as an individual investor. You can't deduct business expense, but if you qualify for TTS, you can. Or you can set up an entity, LLC or S-corp. When you're subject to wash sale rule, you can either elect mark-to-market election or learn how to wash sale work and how to avoid them. As an individual investor, we also said that you are limited to $3,000 per year, right? You are limited to a $3,000 per year, right? But if you elect mark-to-market election, you can actually write off the total amount that you have for the year. One of the things that I did forget to let you guys know is that when it comes to your stock and stock options, remember we said long-term was anything over a year, right? That you are capped at 20%. Short-term was anything under a year that you are capped at 37%. Know that if you are trading as a business with mark-to-market election, all of it is considered ordinary income. All of it would be considered ordinary income. Okay, so let's talk about wash sale. Okay, what is the wash sale rule? Which is, as a trader, it's really important for you to know what is the wash sale rule. The wash sale rule triggers is when you sell a security at a loss and buy it back again within 30 days. So if I bought Apple at $140, I sold Apple at $120. I have to wait for 30 days before I can repurchase Apple. That's a wash sale rule. And a lot of times you guys are getting charged wash sale and you don't even know you are until you receive that 1099. And I'm looking at the wash sale rule and I said, okay, you paid about $5,000 worth of wash sale. And you're like, why? Well, I didn't even know what a wash sale was. So it's very important as a trader for you to see all the fees that you are actually being charged for. And all of that is on the 1099. So what do you have to do when it comes to the wash sale rule? You either wait after the 30 days, or if you are elected mark-to-market election, it eliminates the wash sale rule. And one of the gems that I do want to let you guys know is that in the Better Back Better Plan bill that Biden is trying to pass, if you trade cryptocurrency, they are looking at adding the wash sale rule into cryptocurrency. Right now, you can buy crypto and sell it anytime. You're not triggered when it comes to wash sale rule. But once that bill is passed, the wash sale rule will also be included in cryptocurrency. Just a FYI, all right? So when the wash sale rule is triggered, the loss is disallowed and is added to the cost base of the next purchase. The loss continues to carry over until you are out of the security for 30 days. The reason why IRS came up with the wash sale rule is because what the big dogs would do is, come December, 31st, right? They would go into their portfolio. Anything that they had that was a loss, they would sell it. They would let their accountant know it was a loss. They would write it off as a loss in their taxes. And then the minute January 1st came, they rebought it. You can't do that. That's double dipping. So IRS was like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. Y'all actually getting the credit on your taxes. Y'all deducting this as a loss. And then come January, you guys are repurchasing it. That is the main reason why the wash sale rule came along. So it's very important to actually make sure that you do wash your portfolio and you make sure that you are not being triggered. So the best way to avoid the wash sale rule is to make the mark-to-market election, get out of all your wash sale by the end of the year, and stay out of them for at least 30 days. Otherwise, the loss will be tied up and the wash sale will carry over for the next year. All right, so we talked about the forms. We talked about what forms to fill out. We talked about the wash sale rule. We talked about TTS, trading tax status. We talked about LLC, S-corp. We talked about how you guys are taxed. We talked about blended tax. It's so important for you guys to know. IRS do not allow, you must choose between the mark-to-market election and the blended tax rate. What you guys cannot do, my future and Forex people, what you cannot do is take advantage of 1256 and mark-to-market election. You can either do one or the other. You can't do both. That's considered double dipping. All right. So on your 1099, on the far right, you will see 1256 contract. It's important as well for you to add that into your tax return when you complete your tax return. All right. Now you guys can blow me up with questions.
I have it set so they can't unmute themselves. So I think as a co-host, you can unmute them if they raise their hand if you want to.
Okay.
Or they can put them in your chat as your code.
Okay, I see Sophia has a question. She says, my LLC is for my other business. Can I create a DBA for trading business under that, or do I need to create a separate one? I hope that makes sense. Sophia, that makes perfect sense. If you are going to trade under an entity, that entity needs to be created specifically for trading. So what you can do is take your trucking company and trade under your trucking company. Now, can I use funds from my business to trade? Can I invest from my business to trade? You can. But what you cannot do is then try to deduct business expenses that is for trading purposes under that entity. Because remember, when you created that entity, there was a specific reason why you created for. That could have been for e-commerce. That could have been for trucking, Airbnb. It was not for trading. So you do have to create an entity specifically for trading. And I don't care what no one else says, okay? If you're not doing it, God forbid you get audited. I hear people out there saying, oh, I trade with my trucking company. Good luck. All right. Hopefully that answered the question. I think I've asked to unmute. Okay. It won't let me unmute. I'm trying to unmute iPhone. It won't let me. Let's see.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. So I wanted to know
Okay, you have to tell me who you are, though, boo.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Makila.
Okay.
I wanted to know, what if you trade stocks on like both sides, as far as like options trading, and then what if you do Forex? Like how would you be able to do? Would you be able to put both on your taxes?
Yes, you can. Just know that when you receive your 1099, the brokerage actually divides your transactions.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just say if your brokerage is what TD Ameritrade, and your 1099, it shows all your 1256 transactions. On the middle of your 1099, it shows all your regular transactions. It's so funny because it's so amazing how, let me see if I could pull a 1099 and show you guys it. Sometimes being visual is better. Give me 2 seconds. I did stop sharing, right? Someone let me know if did I stop sharing? Okay.
You did.
1099 B from TD Ameritrade. Let me just make sure I'm not showing you guys my 1099 job, so y'all can see all the loss I had. I don't know about Robinhood. Let's do TD. Let me use a TD Ameritrade example. Let's do image. Yes, I love you guys. Show me this. I didn't ask for a brochure. No, that's not what I want to see. Yay, beautiful. Okay. I'm trying to see if it has a 1256. No, I don't like that one. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I love to show examples. I like examples. No. Okay, I'll pull my own. And I'll just hide my, bear with me. Beautiful. Can you guys see the 1099 account? Somebody says yes, perfect.
Yep.
See that on the left-hand side is dividends and distribution. I know all you guys are looking right here at these numbers. You'll see that it's dividends and distributions, right? You'll see right here is a 1099 miscellaneous. You see where it says section 1256? Section 1256 is that person trading under Forex, that person trading future. This is the body. You see where it says form 8949? That's the taxation form you are going to complete. These right here are so important. You see the wash sale loss, 7,318. It's so important that you guys know what is the amount of your wash sale that you guys are actually getting hit on. So here's the biggest question that I get a lot of. I'll have a 1099 and the cost base will say 0. And then I will say, especially from Robinhood, sorry, Robinhood, I'm not bad mouthing, but the cost base will say 0. And then what you would need to do, if there's nothing in this cost base, you would need to have Robinhood send you an amended 1099. Because there's no way that you could have a 0 cost base when we have a proceed amount. How much did you pay for the security? This is so important for you guys as a trader. You guys have to be able to be so familiar with this form, especially if you DIY. Now, if you have a CPA or you have a tax accountant, you don't necessarily have to worry about it, but it's important for you to actually know what they mean. Because one of the most craziest thing that I hear all the time is that, well, I didn't know what he put on my taxes. Well, I didn't know what he did. I just signed it. That comes from an individual that is ignorant, and you're not ignorant. You're smart individuals. You're smart beings. So it's important. You don't have to know the details, but it's important for you to know the basics. And I'll see a lot of tax return where y'all didn't add the 1256, y'all didn't add the dividends. All y'all literally add is proceeds, costs, net gains, and loss. Y'all didn't even add the wash sale. So it's very important. So this is the body of your 1099. Then here's the interest. You have to add that on the tax return. Look at this too. The foreign tax treaty, you have to, any reconciliation fees, expense, those will also have to be added on the tax return. I know you guys love doing DIYs, and all of these transactions, you want to make sure you complete all of them. Now, you may not want to add all of those transactions, but instead, you know what? You want to make sure you upload all those transactions with your tax return so IRS can actually see them. So in order for you to be eligible for TTS, as your accountant, we're looking to make sure that you completed 720 transactions for that year. Does that make sense? I'm gonna stop sharing this. We're gonna go back here and start answering those questions. I'm glad. Okay, so Corey, your hand is still up.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Thank you for this. This was really helpful. And actually, it just ties into what you just said there with the 720 transactions.
Yes.
Does that matter how many contracts you're buying? It doesn't matter about that. So it's just 720 total transactions. Okay.
And then you'll be amazed how many people go over 20 transactions. So let's just say today, I probably didn't trade at all today. And then tomorrow I got into 5 transactions. So it doesn't necessarily that means that every day you need to get in and out of a call or whatever it is that you are trading for today, as long as you have total 720 trades for the year. And another thing too, that I see this is specifically for day traders. I want you guys to understand this is not for investors. A question that I always would get is, Abby, can I trade under an entity and trade under my Social Security? Yes, you can. You don't necessarily have to trade under an entity. So to be fully transparent, you could have 3 accounts. I have 3 accounts. One for my EIN. This is for my day trade, my scalp, my swing. I have another account where I do quarterly. I trade quarterly in, right? That means I only trade 4 times for the year in that account. And then I have my retirement account. So what I do is the day trade account funds the quarterly account funds the retirement account. So I don't necessarily have to keep depositing money into my accounts. So that's just to be transparent. So, but you can have accounts under your social. Not all of them necessarily need to be an EIN.
Gotcha. That helped a lot. That was another question I had. So thank you so much. You read my mind.
Awesome. So who else here? Is it now? You guys know I'm from Haiti. I don't know how to say nobody's name. Is it Exum? Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Xiomara.
Whoa. Okay, Jordan. I'm gonna let Jordan say the name.
Yeah, Jordan pronounced it really good. So
I know. I was really even impressed myself. I'm not pronouncing no one's name. I'm like, Jordan, tell me who's next.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask, let's say, I'm not a day trader. I'm an investor because I'm buying leaps and everything. But let's say, when it comes time for me to do taxes, am I able to deduct my Discord membership, or do I have to?
No, ma'am. So let me make this clear.
I have to switch over?
No, ma'am, neither. So let me make this clear, guys. Taxation benefits was not created for individual. So if you actually, let's just, as an individual, you work a 9 to 5, right? The only thing that you really can deduct is your 1098. That is your mortgage interest, right? Property tax. And even that goes on a Schedule A. So that's if you itemizing deductions, because the standard deduction is so high. Our beautiful, wonderful President Donald Trump increased the standard deduction and literally took away all deduction as an individual you can deduct. So deductions are not for individuals. They're literally for business.
Businesses. So if you have like an LLC, then you'll be able to do that. Okay.
Yes,
but you said the LLC has to be specific to trading, right?
For trading, correct.
So your business has to be like a trading company or something?
You're literally running a business, correct? Just like if you were to open a business for anything else, it's you running a business.
So now let's say that I have an investment business with 2 other people. Are we able to do our taxes separately, or it has to be together?
If you guys are trading under a partnership, which I highly recommend to put an agreement together with, I don't care if that is your husband, your wife, your best friend, whoever in the world, make sure there is an agreement that is set. But if you are going to do that, you guys will be completing y'all will be completing a 1065 taxation. So it would be a partnership tax return. So y'all would be trading as partners. So I'm a little bit confused when you said we're doing an investment. What are we investing? Are you guys
Well, I'm
trading
just
as a
saying, let's
group?
say if we had a company, I guess, to get the deductions.
Well, that company, you would be deducting whatever your expenses are in that company's business.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, that does.
perfect. Is it Bridget? I'm gonna let Jordan say the name.
Yes, yes. Hi, I'm Bridget. I have a question. Thank you for your time tonight. This is wonderful. What if I'm a relatively new trader, but I also have an account that is managed at another broker, like a Edward Jones. So they manage the account for me. Is that going to affect me as I get better at trading to do a different type, or is it totally separate?
No, you can just leave that alone and let them handle it. And then you can open another account to trade under yourself.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I think it is a user or J. User, there's not a name under user. It just says user. User.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much for the information. It's been really helpful. I just wanted to ask, you spoke about 720 trades. Let's say I'm about to get into an option play. Let's say Apple. Apple is at $100. I think it's gonna go up to like 120.
Okay.
If it goes up to like 110 and comes back to $100, maybe I want to do another option. Is that considered as two different plays?
Yeah. Did you
Okay.
get in 2 different times?
Yes.
Then you have 2 transactions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so question was, so how long does it take to set up an S-corp? And what do I need to provide to my broker? All right, you guys have a pen and a piece of paper? I feel so bad for the individuals that already left. I'm gonna give you guys the gameplay. I do have an ebook that you guys can actually take advantage of, but I'm gonna be nice today. I'm gonna give you guys a gameplay. So step 1 would be that you create your entity, right? First, actually step 1 on the ebook, talk about you need to identify what type of trader you are. That is step 1. Step 2, once you can identify what type of trader you are, then you want to create your entity. You're going to create your entity in the federal, state, county level. Once you create your entity, then you're going to open a business account, meaning a business checking account. Once you open the business account, you're going to fund that account. Once you fund that account, then you need to contact your brokerage. TD Ameritrade is amazing at it. They literally will walk you through it. Then you're going to open a brokerage account under the EIN number, and then you're going to trade under that EIN number. Now, this is too difficult for you? You don't want to do it yourself. You can actually go to my website, which I actually literally put in the chat. You can schedule a discovery call, and we can actually handle that for you.
Amazing. I also had a quick question. I'm sorry, I didn't want to speak out of turn, but my unmute was delayed. So I'm primarily a Forex trader, and I wanted to know what would be some advantages that I could use to start paying less on taxes.
The biggest advantage when you guys is allocating your expenses. 1, and 2 is tax planning. You'll be so amazed. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. 90% of my clients that do tax planning, which is called mid-year planning, usually pays less in taxation liability than any other people. And the reason why is because if you have a high net income, what are we doing mid-year? We're planning how to move that money. We're moving that money to deferred taxes. We're moving that money, to assets.
So instead of waiting till the end, you're already moving it.
You guys wait till December and January, and that's when you guys want to start pulling your hair. You late. Just like when you get, I preach this gospel over and over again. Just like before you get into an option call, you plan your trade, you look at the fundamental, you look at the technical. It's the same way. It's the same way. If you're not planning ahead, if you wait until December, if you don't have a professional actually doing this for you, I'm sorry to say, I was going to eat up your money.
And lastly, is this something your team offers?
Yes, sir.
I'll be on your website. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I do highly recommend to definitely schedule a discovery call. Even if you don't hire me as your accountant, schedule a discovery call before you create your entity, because I've seen too many people doing it the wrong way. Cedric Miller. I can say that name.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Oh
Is
my
it
goodness. Who actually did those notes? Oh, that's questions. Okay. Cedric, ask your question and then I'll go.
all right? Is it too late to file an amendment for the MTM status for next year?
It is, because you were supposed to submit your election letter with your 2021. So when you complete your tax return next year, you are going to actually ask your accountant to actually complete your election letter, to actually complete an election letter. When we complete the entity setup for all of our clients, we actually do the election letter for them. When we actually create the entity for you guys, it comes with a P&L for you guys to actually allocate your expense. It comes with the mark-to-market election letter. It comes with your meeting notes. It comes with your articles organization. It comes with your entity EIN. So it does come with a package to where all of it is actually done for you guys. But for the mark-to-market election, I highly recommend, guys, if you are going to be a full-time trader, make sure your CPA, your tax accountant understand trading. Because if they don't understand trading, the questions you're going to ask, they're not going to know the answers to. Make sure you guys do have an accountant that understands the industry that you're in. Regardless, if that industry is real estate, make sure he or she understands real estate. If it's e-commerce, make sure he or she understands e-commerce. If it's a trucking company, you don't just hire a profession just to hire them. Make sure they understand the industry that you are actually in, if that makes any sense. So yes, Cedric, it is too late, but that's okay, right? Because now you know what to do. Does the wash sale will apply when scalping? And if so, then how? Remember, this wash sale rule, it's not how many transactions. It's getting into a security. It's not how many securities. It's getting into a security at a loss. Then you write off the loss and then get back into it. You can't do that. Okay, strategies and tips to best prepare for short-term capital gains taxes. TTS or trade under entity is the best strategy, because if you are trading as an individual, you can't write off any of your expense realistically. And here's the best expense, right? Your accountant is a deduction. As an individual, you can't deduct that expense. But as an entity, you can. Those are the best. What short-term or long-term capital gains you only tax when the money is withdrawn, or will those tax apply even if it's still in TD Ameritrade account? The question is about when your money is withdrawn. Remember, buying a security, once you sell that security, whatever income you made from that security, you're taxed on. So when we say the word withdrawn, are we talking about taking the money out of my account? It's kind of like saying, am I taxed if I take some money from my checking account and deposit it into my saving account? Or am I taxed when I take some money from my saving account? So no. So yeah, you still tax, even if the money's in TD Ameritrade. Did you sell the security? That's the question. Did you sell the security? If you didn't sell the security, okay. I was reading that dedicated day trading can apply for special day trading tax treatment, which IRS, TTS, that's what TTS is. which can potentially reduce some tax impact while at the same time potentially making net profit subject to self-employment tax. Oh, so if you are trading under an LLC as a sole proprietor, you are not subject to self-employment tax. The self-employment tax is 15.3. That's why it's so important. If you are going to trade under an LLC as a sole proprietor, it needs to be specifically for trading. If it's not specifically for trading, then the profit needs to be on that Schedule C, not the 8949. I hope that makes sense for number 4. Number 5, I heard that you can offset capital gains against capital loss, but the gains you offset can total more than your loss, and you can use up the 3,000 and excess losses per year to offset your ordinary income. Correct. So you can actually deduct the $3,000 up to 7 years. Up to 7 years. The beautiful thing that MTM does is you can write off your total loss same year. Okay. Correct. Up to 7 years for number 5. Where you guys found those questions? Was that you, Jordan? You typed all that in there?
No, absolutely not.
God bless your heart. Who was that?
It was some people who knew they weren't going to be able to make the class, but
Oh,
had questions they wanted answers to.
you're so nice. I'd be like, listen, you can't make it to the class. You cannot get your questions. That sounds so petty. What's the difference between trading as a partnership and a multi-member LLC, and which would you recommend for a group of people trading together? If a group of people trading together, get an attorney. Get an attorney. Everybody is amazing when you're making money, but boy, when things are going south, everybody has a different way. So Kai, what I would say is make sure one, if it's a group, it would be a multi-member, because multi-member could be multiple members, whereas a partnership is 2 people, right? So I would do an LLC multi-member, and I would make sure that an agreement is written. So any of our clients that are multi-member, a partner or multi-member, I make sure that that we put together an agreement for them. Actually go to my website. Our ebook, I believe is 67. Is it 67? Yes, I think the ebook is $67. Can you write a vehicle as a trader? Okay, so your expense. This is how I want you guys to answer the expense question. Whatever it is you're going to purchase, ask, is it related to the business or is it personal? Is it business or personal? If you can answer those 2 questions, then you know. Can you write off the vehicle as a trader? Do you know how many people wanted to write off the Tesla? Is it business related? Yes. If it's not business related, no. But you can depreciate your vehicle. And one of the great things about it is that the bonus depreciation, I believe it's the last year you can actually use the bonus depreciation. If you're trading in the Tesla and using the charts, I'm done. I'm so done. Jay, did I answer your question? I'm so done. That was a good one. I want to make sure. Let me see. Did I miss any questions? Okay. Can we request these forms from the brokerage, or is it our responsibility to get these forms filled out? Which forms? iPhone? Are you talking about like the $89.99, the $10.40, the $10.99? Talk to me. You know I'm going to call you iPhone because it's not a name. Oh, you're very welcome. Awesome. Awesome. When would be a good time to create an LLC? Yesterday. So basically, this is the year to work on an LLC. Basically, this is the year to identify what type of trader you are. This is the year to have a plan. This is the year to have a plan, not to create an LLC. This is the year to have a plan. If you make it in this type of market, you're going to be doing really, really good in the future. because the market is very disrespectful right now. When you think you're winning, it slaps you in the face. When you think you're losing, it's so disrespectful. Wash sale and option trading. If I close an option contract for a loss and buy shares for long-term holding within 30 days, will it trigger wash sale? Will it trigger wash sale? What if I buy the shares in IRA account within 30 days, but trade options and incur loss in a regular brokerage account? Okay, sweetheart, your IRA account and your other account is two different accounts. So just know that your wash sale doesn't matter what account you're doing it. And here's the thing, your brokerage is, if you triggered wash sale rule, your brokerage is gonna tell you. I don't think you guys pay attention sometimes. It'll send you, I know TD sends a beautiful red flag when you are triggered. So you will get it triggered when you do a wash sale rule. Let's see. You can depreciate your vehicle, iPhone, as a business expense if you use it for business, if it is purchased under the business. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I have a realtor, right, that purchased her Tesla last year, and she shows house at least 5 to 6 houses a day. So she's on the move. She used her car for work. This is her way of living. So we use the bonus depreciation on her Tesla. So she was able to write off her whole Tesla. Now, are you going to be using your Tesla for trading? Is it under the business? So you have to actually ask yourself those questions, love. So we can depreciate your vehicle if it's under the business. Your wash, thank you. Your write-off needs to be reasonable, reasonable. And that I taught in my tax planning class last month. Tax planning class, we talked about the difference between deductions and credit. And believe it or not, if you guys are on my live on Wednesdays, I teach all of this. You know, the difference between the credits and the deductions, you know, the tax brackets, what it is you can write off. What is the bonus depreciation? I trade daily. Should I do S-corp or LLC? Which one has an advantage? Remember, I told you the difference between an LLC and an S-corp, right? My thing is with an S-corp, you need to make enough money in the stock market to pay yourself. So if you're making $10,000 in the stock market, do you think it would be beneficial to be an S-corp? Is it enough to do payroll? Good. Jordan, can we have a class for LLC S-corp, please? I know it's asking for a lot. I could definitely do a class for you guys for LLCs and S-corp. There's always things I'm working on that y'all don't know about. That is one of them. Okay, Jordan, awesome. If I create a single member LLC later this year, can I deduct expense made prior to the creation of the LLC? If those expenses are for trading purposes, your accountant will probably do what's called an accountable plan for you, so you would be able to deduct those expenses. All right. Brokerage won't report as wash sale between equity and option, close Apple option contract for loss, and then buy Apple shares. So it's not shown up in the brokerage 1099. Okay, awesome. Quick question. Example, if we start of January 1st with 1,000 and down 2,000, 10,000. So now the net loss is, the net balance is 8,000. So we would have over 10,000 at the end of the year to be taxed. No, boo. You don't have anything to tax. You had a loss. You are not taxed on the amount you start off. You are taxed on the amount you made on top of that amount. So if you started off with 10,000 and you made 12,000, you would be taxed under 2,000. Does that make sense? Hi, James? Hopefully that makes sense. If you have a full-time job but still trade, You guys are not playing with the questions. Boy, I love it. If you have a full-time job, but still trade more than 4 hours in the stock market, does it count as overlap or on its own? No, it's not an overlap. Keep trading. Sure. Keep trading. Is buying and then selling considered 2 transactions? No. One. I love your energy and how you teach. Must be high. Continue to bless you from the crown. Thank you, Moody. Thank you for that. I received that. Can you add like 10 million on top of those blessings, please? Okay, so guys, for 2023, the year 2023, we are accepting new clients, but we're closing the door at 200. And the reason why we're closing the door at 200 is because of classes like this. I like to teach. So I like to build relationships with my clients. So then I don't want the 1,000 client firm, because then what it will do is it will take away from me being personal and me being able to do this for free. It's so funny because people will say, oh my gosh, Abby, why are you not charging for your classes? Well, this is kind of like my way of giving back. I want you guys to be able not to just make money in the stock market, but I want you guys to be able to keep it. Okay. Planning is so very important. You'll be so amazed how in 2019, there were so many millionaires and all of them now are back to 9 to 5 because they didn't have a plan. And that is so important. Is there a penalty from leveraging a capital account derived from employee stock purchase program to trade stocks? Employee stock purchase is from your 9 to 5. So that would be different. That would be different. Faith, thank you so much for keeping your hands up so faithfully. What's your question, love?
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. My question is, so if I make a profit in the market and I didn't take it out, like I traded with the profit and I lose it, do I get taxed on the profit that is now a loss?
No, because okay. So if I bought Apple for $100, right, and I made 100, and and I sold it for 120, so I am taxed on it. I'm taxing the $20. I took the $120 and I rebought. I bought Amazon. Hi, Dave. I bought Amazon from that 120, and I sold it at a loss of $80. No, I'm not taxed on anything. I have a total loss. What is the end result of my transaction? It's going to show a loss.
Okay. So it's a loss and I'm not going to, yeah.
It will be a total loss.
Okay. Thank you. Love your hair, by the way. You're very pretty.
Oh, thank you. I'm finally trying this natural stuff. I'm about to knock myself out and go get my hair done. I don't know who came up with this rule. So one of the biggest way when it comes to scheduling an appointment with us is through our website. I highly recommend to schedule a discovery call. In our discovery call, be prepared, because the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what is your plan? It's June, it's July. So what is your plan for the rest of the year? That's like the first question I'm going to ask you. And then I'm going to ask you, do you have other businesses? Okay, do you work a 9 to 5? Is it just you? Is it you and hubby? You know, what is the game plan? All right, and then we're going to write these game plans out, and then we're going to actually learn how to execute them. Because the biggest thing that I find is that you guys know how to make this money in the stock market. Y'all just don't know how to keep it. Don't know how to keep it. You don't know how to stop paying Uncle Sam. And the reason why you don't know how to stop paying Uncle Sam is because you didn't have a plan. So it's so important. So once we put out game plan, and then if it's the entity setup that you need, you can go into our trading. We send you a proposal, an engagement letter, you sign it, then you have access to us. You have access to my whole firm. Then you can ask me questions at any time through our secure portal. Once we actually create your entity, you receive the package. And like I said, the package with the entity comes with the P&L, your minutes, meetings. It also comes with your articles of organization, your EIN. It comes with the mark-to-market election. If it's a multi-member, it does come with an agreement. I don't care, like I said, if it's husband and wife, you guys are putting an agreement together. Okay, once the agreement, it's important to put an agreement together regardless if you're husband and wife, because you'll be amazed. If it's not written down, it didn't exist. That's my golden rule. If something is not written down, both signatures in it, it didn't exist. I don't care if we slept on it or we slept in the same bed about it. It didn't happen. An IRS mindset, it didn't happen at all. Okay, so it's so important. The only other thing I would ask of you guys is if you did enjoy this training, because one of the big things I'm really big on is learning, right? So if you did enjoy this training, I would ask that you guys do give us a review. I am going to, let me actually give you guys the link. Let's see. Oh, where is it? Yes, please send me a review. Let me know if you enjoyed the class. Let me know if there was anything that you guys would have preferred, or if something that I didn't speak about that you guys would want me to speak upon. Know that today class was just trading under a business, how to trade under a business the right way. I do teach other classes, which is tax planning class. We also teach that as well. But this class was specifically for trading under a business the right way. So if you guys can actually send us a review, we would really, 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 really appreciate it. I'm going to actually put that link in here, if I can find it, right? There you go, let's see. No. All right, any other questions for me, guys? Did I miss anything? Your twin sister on the website is hella fine. That's me, just not natural. Oh, here's the review link. If selling option contract for a loss and buying shares the same underlying within 30 days was a trigger wash sale. Within 30 days, yes. Remember, security, same security, guys, same security. Same security is so important. So if you buy Apple, you sold Apple, and then you repurchase Apple. Can't do that. Okay, guys? Did I miss any question? Where's Jordan? My apologies. It is copy link address. There you go. I apologize. I think it's the same. Where am I located? I am in Tampa, Florida. Y'all welcome to come to this heat. I am so ready for, when does it cool down here? November? When I say same securities, I'm talking about like the ticker, like Apple, like Amazon, Google. You in Jacksonville? Hi. Yes. Come to Florida. DeSantis is letting everybody in anyway, so just come in. Oh, he did. Does my significant other works with me? I do not have a significant other. Mo. Does wash sale apply to option contracts or if you purchase a stock? It does. Remember, so when you purchase an option, did you not purchase a ticker? You purchase a security. Even though it's an option, it's still a security. You're very welcome, Rachel. So it's still security, Brittany. Even though it's option, even though if it's a stock, you still purchase a ticker. So the wash sale only applies to securities. Does it also apply to index like SPY? That's a good question. Shaka, I like your question. I finally have a question. Okay. Remember, all my classes that I've done, guys, is based on questions. So I finally got a question that is not on my course here. Thank you. What's your name, Shaka? I'm writing down your question. I will definitely answer that question on Wednesday on my live. What is MTM again? MTM is mark to market. Okay, paying capitals under an IRA. Now, is that a Roth IRA or regular IRA? Yes, you can definitely drop my IG. Listen, it's so hard. It's so hard for me to promote myself. My social media manager, she'll be like, Abby, can you please let everybody know to go follow you on IG? I'll be forgetting all this stuff. I just want to teach. Okay, regular IRA, when it comes to your capital gains in your regular IRA, you don't pay anything on it until you touched it, Dennis. Until you touch it. So once you touch it, then you are paying tax on it, love. On your regular IRA. When and where are your lives? I missed that part. On my IG. What is the IG? Okay, let me pull up my IG. I haven't decided yet, but I might, I am on, where is it? Oh, I'm doing stuff. I'm in over 28 Discord. God bless my heart, right? 28 Discord. So I haven't made the decision if I'm going to be in Jordan Discord yet, because in all of those Discords I teach on. So I'll have a little meeting. If you guys do want me to be in your Discord, please let Jordan know. I will definitely become a member. Okay, sorry, I didn't understand the earlier answer. I was along the line, that example. I bought an Apple contract with expiration 7/8 and sold for a loss, but bought another Apple contract with expiration different. Does this count as a wash sale? Yes, James, it's a wash sale. Yes, Mo, it's a yes, but that question is for your financial advisor, not your tax strategist, but it is true. I heard that too. You're very welcome, James. Okay. You pay your normal tax rate, right? I'm trying to figure out the least amount I can pay since I work full-time as well. Dennis, you're gonna have to sit with your accountant, love. If you don't have one, sit with me, but you're gonna have to sit with your accountant. Because when it comes to your IRA, right? Your regular IRA, if you don't touch it, you are not taxed on your capital gains. The minute you touched it, you're going to be taxed at ordinary tax on your capital gains. Your Roth IRA, you're not taxed at it at all. So I'm going to be a little bit transparent with you guys. My retirement account, that's where I actually invest in my leaps, my 2024s, my index, or I let them cook in there. I don't touch those. Those are my Roth IRAs. right? So where you want to make sure, Dennis, where you do your plan, if it's a regular IRA, just know, me personally, I'm not a financial advisor. I would not trade in my regular IRA. Why? Why would I? And the only reason why remember I said the word don't come after me and say Abby said. Don't come with the Abby said. Me, I wouldn't trade under my regular IRA. And the only reason why I wouldn't trade under my regular IRA is because whatever money I'm going to make in there, I'm going to be taxed. I don't want to be taxed. That's like my whole goal. I don't want IRS to touch my money. Am I going to be taxed? Yes, but I don't want to be overly taxed. Okay, how long can you hold gains with the Roth IRA? Let me tell you something, Mr. iPhone. You will never be taxed on a Roth IRA, my love. Because the tax is paid up front. When you get your money, you're not taxed on it. That's the beauty of the Roth IRA. But that's a financial advising question again. Okay, if I sell an option contract, did I answer that question for you regarding the if I sell an option contract for $100 loss and then buy 10 shares of stock full? Remember guys, you cannot sell a security at a loss and repurchase that same security within 30 days. What is the word here that I'm saying? You cannot purchase the same security within that 30 days. Awesome, Dennis. Am I making sense? You can't purchase the same security. Also, last question. You're not sorry. Okay, I'm not a... Ooh, that's a good question. I really don't know, James. I haven't transitioned to that department. I've only done end state. I'm saying I've only done in the States, in the US. I don't do taxation. I don't do anything in the foreign market. So I'm not even sure at all. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna also take your question, because that's question number 2 that I didn't have an answer for. And I don't like not having answers. Let's go here. Let me put that question down here for you so I can find out for you, okay? All right. Okay, what was it? All right, so when it comes to, where's my IG? Where's IG? Okay, so you guys can go follow me on Instagram. I am the relationship accountant. I'll get the link for you guys. My nephew said, no, you're not. I am the relationship accountant. My name is Abby. Not Abigail, just Abby. No problem. I got it. I understood. Okay. If there is no more question, guys, for me, I highly recommend, if you already have an accountant, I highly recommend build a relationship with your accountant. I've been going to the same hairdresser since I was 10 years old. Don't like changes. There's 3 people that I truly believe that should be in the speed dial, your speed dial. That is an accountant, an attorney, and a financial advisor. Try to have these 3 people. Try to build a relationship with those 3 people. If you don't already have an accountant and you are looking for one, we would be happy to have you. My classes are mostly on IG. I go live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. And I answer all questions that you guys throw at me on a daily basis. And I teach. Listen, Alan, that is an amazing question. What would be a good amount to be making each year in order to use your service? My service is actually free. You want to know why? My service is a deduction. My service is a deduction. Kai, I'm not a CPA. I am a tax strategist. I'm just an accountant. Hey, I'm not just an accountant. No problem at all. Do you have a YouTube channel? It's so funny because I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel. I don't like YouTube. Maybe because I prefer to just be like face to face with people and answer questions, but we'll see. My social media manager keeps telling me to do one, but I'd be like, really? Do I have to? I'm so lazy when it comes to that. But we'll see. We'll see, Woodland. Oh, Dennis say sign me up. Dennis, sign you up for what? Correction, not just an account, but rather a tax strategist. No problem. Okay. It's so funny because a lot of people ask, why am I not a CPA? My mentor during school, after I got my bachelor's, I was going to sit for the CPA, and he was like, no, you don't need no CPA. Just go get your master's instead. So I went and got my master's instead, and just never really sat for the CPA. So you never know. I may change my mind one day and just sat for it. But I do want to let you guys know that it's very important that you don't choose a CPA just because they have a CPA. I have clients that are CPAs. They know nothing about taxation. So understand that, don't have a CPA just to have a CPA. Make sure that they do understand the industry you're in, if that makes any sense. Okay. No problem at all, James. You guys, I am going to let you guys go. I'm going to go figure out what's for dinner. I know you guys have another class after mine. If you guys have any other questions, don't be shy. I'm going to try to have a meeting with Jordan and see if being part of your Discord is something that would be beneficial to you guys. If it is, then I'll see you guys soon. I'll ask him to create a tax room. Some of the Discords that I am part of, this is how they actually, wait. That's not what I want to do. Go back here. Go here. They'll have me in here as, what is this? Some of them have me in here as like, can you believe I'm in all of these Discords? That's not what I want to do. Move here. That's not what I want to do. Let's go into you. Jazz is so silly. Yeah, they'll have me in here as like trading under business, tax planning, tone tax. Tone tax is actually a CPA. So, so with the majority of the Discords that I partake in, I teach in the Discord. See you in Tampa. Drinks on me. Okay, Dennis. All right, now don't forget you said that. All right, I'm an expensive drinker. I like my wines. You guys are very welcome. How do we find you every Wednesday night for live session? On IG. Shaka, on IG. No problem. Oh, I look forward to seeing you guys on Discovery calls. You're very welcome. Well, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to go figure out what is for dinner. You guys have a wonderful evening. 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. Yes. All right. Bye, guys. I think, can I actually get out of here? Did Jordan say it's okay for me to exit, guys? Yes, he did. Okay, perfect. Thank you.